You care, and you're still late. That's what makes it hurt. It's not that you forgot. It's not that you didn't try. It's that somehow, no matter how many times you promise yourself today I'll be on time, you still end up sprinting out the door. Heart racing, apologizing in your head before you've even arrived. Meanwhile, if everyone else makes it look effortless, you're left wondering why something so basic feels so weirdly hard. Psychology says, if you're always running late even when you care, your brain may be dealing with something far deeper than laziness, and once you understand it, you may stop blaming your character for a pattern your nervous system was never taught to manage well. You've probably heard the labels enough times that they've started living inside your head. You're irresponsible. You're rude. Why are you always late? Maybe people assume you don't value them, don't respect their time, or just don't have your life together. And after hearing that enough, you start saying even worse things to yourself. What is wrong with me? Why can't I do something so basic that everyone else seems to manage? That's the part people don't see. They see the clock. You feel the guilt, the embarrassment, the sinking feeling of disappointing people again when you were trying. So the lateness stops being just a habit and starts feeling like proof that you're somehow failing at adulthood. Most people stop there and think it's a character flaw. But if being on time feels harder for you than it should, there's usually more going on. Underneath than laziness or carelessness, here's the reframe. Chronic lateness often has less to do with not caring and more to do with a time-blind, transition-sensitive brain. Some people don't naturally feel time passing in a reliable way. Others struggle with the mental shift it takes to stop one thing, leave a space, and move into the next. Add stress, distraction, perfectionism, or one last task, and suddenly the whole timeline collapses. You're not failing because you don't care. You may be dealing with a brain that handles time and transitions differently from what the world expects. That doesn't erase responsibility, but it does mean shame alone is never going to fix it. Underneath the pattern, there are usually three things going on. First, there's time blindness. Some brains don't have a strong internal sense of how fast time is moving. You really do think you have plenty of time until, and suddenly you don't. It's not dishonesty. It's a weak internal clock. Second, there's transition difficulty. Leaving isn't just physical, it's mental. Stopping one task, shifting your attention, gathering your things, and moving into another environment can take more energy than people realize. For some minds, that switch is sticky. You don't just go, you have to peel yourself away from one state and enter another. And third, there's mental overload or perfectionistic delay. You squeeze in one more email, one more item, one more tiny fix, because your brain keeps saying, there's still time. Or you want to leave properly, not halfway through something, so you delay until it's too late. By the time you realize how long everything has taken, the panic kicks in and you're sprinting. Most people only see the lateness. They don't see the weak time sense, the heavy transitions, and the overloaded mind trying to hold too many moving parts at once. Here's the nuance that actually matters. This is not a moral failure, but it is something that affects people. You don't need more shame. Shame just makes your brain more stressed, and stressed brains usually manage time even worse. But pretending it has no impact doesn't help either. Chronic lateness can frustrate people, damage trust, and make your life harder. So the goal isn't to excuse it or attack yourself for it. The goal is to hold both truths at once. This pattern is understandable. It's still my responsibility to work with it. That's a much healthier place to begin than calling yourself lazy and hoping guilt will somehow fix your nervous system. When you see it clearly, your story stops being "I'm careless, lazy, or disrespectful," and starts sounding more like the truth. You may have a brain that struggles with time in ways other people don't see. That doesn't make you a bad person. It means you need better systems, not harsher self-hatred. Visible timers, bigger buffers, out-the-door rituals, fewer last-minute tasks, more compassion for the part of you that genuinely is trying. You don't need to become someone else. You need to learn how your brain works with time and build around that instead of punishing yourself for not being naturally different. If this felt like someone finally explained why being on time can feel so weirdly hard, you're not alone and you're not broken for struggling with it. Subscribe and stay close if you want more videos that decode traits like this without shaming you. And tell me in the comments what part of being on time is hardest for you, because next, we're going even deeper into how minds like yours can stop fighting themselves and start working with themselves instead.